Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Tonight, his Xfinity cars will be taking on Chicagoland Speedway for 120 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, @Man-Leith, and I'm excited to call all the racing action here on Intensity Broadcasting. To go over what has happened in the league, last week we had twin races at Watkins Glen Speedway. Race number 1 was won by none other than Devin Bucciano, getting his first win of the season. He led 2 of the 25 laps. The driver that dominated most of the race was Clint Stone, who led 12 of the 25 laps, but after a last lap incident, ended up finishing in 4th. Cody Moore led 11 laps, but after coming into pit and everybody else stayed out, he ended up finishing 3rd. Race number 2, we saw Brian Newty pick up his first win of the season, leading 17 of the 25 laps ever since he took the lead from Bobby Mays. He led the rest of the way. We saw Josh Hall and Bobby Mays. They were the other 2 lap leaders, with Josh Hall leading 5 and Bobby Mays leading 3. So after Watkins Glen, here is a look at your current point standings. We see Colin Willems leads the point standings right now. He has a 2-point lead over second place Devin Buchino. Third in points, we have Cody Moore. Fourth is Brian Newty, and then rounding out your top 5, it is Clint Stone. Sixth is Will Witt. Seventh is Joseph Wright. Eighth, we got Kyle Mays. Ninth is Derek Chapu. And rounding out your top 10 right now in points, it is Blake Hensley. Some honorable mentions, Brian Merle Jr. in 11th and Michael Provolt in 12th. We're also going to go over the team standings, another very important part of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. We see Wasted Wages Racing right now as your leader in points. They have 1 win this season, and they have a 58-point lead over second place CCM, whose driver Brian Newty won last week at Watkins Glen. And then third is Neon Racing, whose driver Devin Buchno also won at the Glen in the twin races. Fourth right now in the team standings is the Mays Mafia Racing, led by none other. We see their highest driver in the point standings is Clint Stone, who sits 5th. Then in running at your top 5, it is Intensity DBC Racing, whose highest driver is none other than David Hartney and Josh Hall. And then 6th right now is 2 Pedals 1 Clutch, who has Michael Provolt as their highest driver in the point standings. So there you have it. That is what is going on in the league heading into tonight's event here at Chicagoland. Practice is wrapping up, and we are getting set for qualifying. Well, drivers will put it all out on the line for 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time, and that will determine where they will start in the feature. So here we go. Qualifying is beginning. We are awaiting drivers to take the track. There is Craig Schroeder in that 4 machine exiting the pits. We got Brett Merle in the number 11 exiting the pits. There is one of last week's winners, Brian Newty, in the 28 Dev Sports Cards machine. Here's Newty on the back stretch. Heading through turns 3 and 4, looks like he is hugging that outside wall run about mid-corner. Brian Newty has 1 win this season, winning at Watkins Glen last week. He has finished in the top 10 in every single race so far this season, looking to continue that streak tonight. Getting a little bit sideways there in turns 1 and 2. Now we set our sights on the 4 machine of Craig Schroeder. Back to Brian Newty in the 28. Here he goes, heading through turns 3 and 4. Coming off of turn number 4, Brian Newty crosses the start-finish line. And we see he is to first with a 31.62. We see Zachary Cox overtakes him with a 31.12. And he is actually tied with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. It came down to the 1,000th or 10,000th of a second to determine who was ahead. And looks like Cox got the spot. Joe Wright is third. He ran a 31.29, putting him about 2/10 behind Zachary Cox. There is Brian Newty to the top of the board with a 30.73. Brett Merle ends up turning a 30.80, putting him 0.06 behind First place, Brian Newty. We see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence runs third with a 30.99, putting Cheeseburger almost 3/10 behind first place, Brian Newty. Michael Provolt in the 95 takes the track. Provolt has one top 10 finish this season, coming last week at Watkins Glen, where he finished 10th in one of the two twins. First lap for Provolt will put him in 5th as he runs a 31.10. That will put him around 3/10 behind Brian Newty. While we're under qualifying, we are going to take this time to do the driver spotlight of the race presented by Marco's Pizza. Here, we will highlight some of the drivers in this league. So our first driver that we will highlight tonight is none other than Intensity Broadcasting Zone, Josh Hall. Josh is a 37-year-old from Chicopee, Massachusetts. He has a wife of 5 years and a 2-year-old daughter. He works as a supervisor for the K Jewelers virtual team, and as you may know, he is an announcer for Intensity Broadcasting. He has been on iRacing since February 11th, 2010, and he drives the number 81 Toyota in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. He is a bowler. He loves painting cars on iRacing, and he is a weather nut. He ran a couple of street stock races at Stafford Motor Speedway, and that is his only real-world experience. So there you go. That is Josh Hall. The next driver that we are going to be talking about is none other than Logan Hagerman. Never mind. Next driver we're going to be talking about is none other than Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris is a 34-year-old and is the driver of the number 8. He lives in eastern Tennessee, but he is originally from Michigan. He is a certified ice arena operator through ISI, and he can build a rink, run a rink, and disassemble a rink. He is a manager. He was a manager at Ober-Gatlinburg Ice Rink for about 5 years and decided he wanted to go further in the industry, so he reached out to a semi-pro hockey team in Knoxville, and he was there for 1 year before he got with a company out of Florida that rents rinks out and got sent to Birmingham, Alabama. Then COVID hit, and they were sending people out anymore, and he took on a job working from home. So he got into NASCAR and iRacing because of his dad, and they always played NASCAR on the console, and when they heard about the creation of iRacing, he wanted to do it so bad, but the opportunity wasn't there, and fortunately, Eddie's dad passed away, and he never got to share iRacing with him, so that's kind of the whole reason why he started iRacing. So, there it is. That is the driver bio for Eddie Morris. So, hopefully, everyone enjoyed getting to know 2 of our drivers here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. We see Devin Bucciano heads to the top of the board with a 30.72, and looks like it was tied to the 100th of a second between him and Newty, so it came down to the 1,000th or 10,000th of a second, and looks like iRacing ended up putting Devin Bucciano ahead, so now Brian Newty sits second. Colin Willems runs third. He ran a 30.73. That'll put him about a 100th off of first place. Devin Bucciano, top 5, all separated by less than a 10th. Very, very tight field right now. First of all, I want to thank Butt Kicker for sponsoring the broadcasts and stepping up to sponsor them. And I want to take this time to talk a little bit about Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker brand haptic transducers lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Butt Kicker brand products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. Butt Kicker products' patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. And they actually released a new product recently called the Gamer Plus, and is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight simulator, and gaming effects. So if you would like to check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, make sure to visit thebuttkicker.com. Again, that's thebuttkicker.com. Take a look back here in qualifying. Nothing has changed with the top three at the moment. Here we see Sylvain Seguin on track right now. Michael White also on track. Qualifying is getting ready to wrap up here. And it's looking like Devin Buccino will be starting on the pole. Devin Buccino is definitely the mile-and-a-half king of the SCSRA series. If the track is a mile and a half, you know Devin Buccino is going to be in the mix and in the lead. He has 2 mile-and-a-half wins in SCSRA history, both are for the SCSRA Xfinity history, both of them coming in Season 1. Another driver to watch out for tonight is, and as we're talking about that, Clint Stone in the 99 goes to the top of the board with a 30.72. Looks like it was pretty much a tie between Devin Buccino. Came down to the 1,000th or 10,000th of a second, and looks like it puts Clint Stone ahead, and Clint Stone will be starting on the pole. So here's a look at your starting lineup for tonight's event, running a 30.720. It's the Maze Mafia Racing's number 99 of Clint Stone. Second is Neon Racing's Devin Buccino. Third, we have CCM's Brian Nudi in the 28. Fourth, we have Wasted Wages Racing's Colin Willems. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Neon Racing's Brett Merle in the 11. In 6th, starting right behind his Wasted Wages teammate, is Logan Hagerman. 7th, it is Eddie Morris in the 8. In 8th, we have Todd Mays, member of the Maze Mafia. 9th, starting right behind his CCM teammate, it is Blake Kinsley in the 88. And then rounding out your top 10, we have 2 pedals, 1 clutches, Michael Proval. 11th is Wasted Wages, Cody Moore. 12th, starting right outside of his teammate, is Will Witt. 13th is the Maze Mafia's Kyle Mays in the 55. 14th is Michael White. And rounding out your top 15, we have Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. 16th is Neon Racing in the 10. There's Neon Racing's 10 of Jake McCarty. 17th is Wasted Wages Racing's Derek Chaput in the 37. 18th is Zachary Cox with 2 pedals, 1 clutch. 19th, we have Intensity DBC Racing's Jeffrey Belk in the 54. And rounding out your top 20, we have Sylvain Seguin in the 66. 21st, we have Dave Wright. 22nd, it is Intensity Broadcasting Zone Joe Wright. In 23rd, we have Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. 24th, we have Intensity Broadcasting Zone Josh Hall. And rounding out your top 5, it is Craig Schroeder in the 4. So there you have it. 25 cars is the field. Very, very big field tonight. I think it's going to be some fantastic racing here at Chicagoland. Clint Stone looking for his first win ever in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. And first win of the season. Let's see if he can get it done. But right outside of him, a driver who you do not want to mess with on these mile and a halfs, that is Devin Buccineau. If it is a mile and a half, you know that Devin has probably gotten a win or a top 5 here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. We got two former teammates side by side between Brian Newty and Colin Willems. Both of them have wins this season. So they're trying to race to see who can have the most win, who can be the first to 2 wins. Pace car is in. And green flag is out here at Chicagoland Motor Speedway. The Windy City 180 is underway. There we see Clint Stone taking off Buccineau right on his back bumper as we head into turns 1 and 2. We see side by side for third, Colin Willems with the nose, and he is able to get clear. So top 3 single file right now. Willems all over the back bumper of the 68. Devin Buccineau playing offense and defense right now. Willems looks to the outside of Devin Buccineau. This is a multi-groove racetrack. Willems may be able to make it work up there. Many drivers discuss that. I definitely think we're going to see a lot of drivers up there, but I will mention it is very, very hard on the tires if you run mid or high in the corners. So drivers need to be careful with that. We see Colin Willems finally on the outside, able to get clear of Devin Buccineau. He is now to that second place spot, and he will try to set his sights on Clint Stone, who is your leader. The battle is on for the 4th place spot between Logan Hagerman and Brian Newty. We see Hagerman is able to get clear. Clint Stone just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 30.89. Currently has a 7/10 lead over second place Colin Willems, who has Devin Buccineau trying to reel him in. Willems passed Buccineau earlier in the race, so Buccineau trying to get him back. Brian Newty trying to get by Logan Hagerman for this 4th place spot. We see him looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass. He's got some pressure from Eddie Morris behind him. There we go. Eddie Morris trying to get by his teammate for that 5th place spot. Once again, Clint Stone just ran the fastest lap time of the race, 30.88 for that 99 machine. Devin Buccineau still trying to reel in Colin Willems for that 2nd place spot. Side by side between Eddie Morris and Brian Newty for the 5th place spot. Eddie with the nose on the outside, and he is clear. Nope, not. Yep, there we go. He is clear. Eddie Morris now to the 5th place spot, trying to look to the outside or just trying to find any sort of way to get by Logan Hagerman for 4th. He looks low side by side on the backstretch. We see Hagerman with the nose on the outside, but great run on entry of the corner. He is able to get clear. Eddie Morris now to the 4th place spot. Side by side for 5th now between Eddie's teammate Blake Hensley and Logan Hagerman. Blake gets by Logan. He is now side by side with Eddie Morris for the 4th place spot. Morris with the nose on the outside, and he gets clear. Now Blake Hensley trying to reel in his teammate. Here comes Brett Merle looking low under Logan Hagerman for the 6th place spot. Merle with the nose on the front stretch, almost clear. Hagerman trying to fight back on the outside. The outside is very, very strong, but there we go. Brett Merle is clear and now to the 6th place spot. Trying to reel in Blake Hensley for 5th. He is right on his back bumper, knocking on the door. Here comes that 11. Great run here in 3 and 4, continuing to inch closer and closer to that back bumper. on the front stretch, just trying to get a good run for turns 1 and 2. Great run, Brett Merle right up to the back bumper. He looks low. The door is open for the 11 side by side here on the back stretch. Hensley with the nose. Brett Merle trying to get a good run here for turns 3 and 4. Merle with the nose. This is a battle to see who will get into the top 5. Back and forth between these two here on the front stretch. Great battle we are seeing right now. Blake Hensley has the nose on the outside. We see Brett Merle fighting back on the bottom. He is clear. Brett Merle to the 5th place spot now, but Blake Hensley not letting him get away. Maybe trying to make a crossover move here in 3 and 4. He looks to the outside of Brett Merle. Dives it down, heading off of turn number 4. Great run for Blake Hensley right up to the back bumper. Looks low to the rear quarter panel, to the doors, side by side between these two. Almost making contact on entry of turn number 1. We see Brett Merle continue it. We see Blake Hensley with the nose coming off of turn number 2. They remain side by side. Trading a little bit of paint there on the back stretch. Hensley with the nose as we head into turns 3 and 4. And he is back to the 5th place spot. Brett Merle all over the back bumper, looking to the outside, trying to make the crossover move on that 88. And we see these two are beginning to reel in. Eddie Morris for that 4th place spot. There it is, Brett Merle looking low under Blake Hensley for the 5th place spot. Side by side. We see Brett Merle with the nose coming off of turn number 4 as they come up on Blake's teammate, Eddie Morris. Almost making contact. Lots of instances between these two. Good, clean racing, though. Nothing dirty has happened. Brett Merle continues to have the nose as we head here through turns 1 and 2. And look at this. Blake Hensley sucking up with teammate Eddie Morris. They get a great run on the outside, and the first caution of the race is out here. It's now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. If you're thinking about having some a pizza night, Marco's Pizza, definitely the way to go. Quality ingredients. I've had Marco's Pizza many times. Definitely the best pizza you can buy for sure. So go visit your nearest Marco's Pizza and get some for yourself. So here's a look at what happened here. We have Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Chaput, and Michael White 3 wide here in turns 1 and 2. So here's a look at what happened here. So we see White with a great run on the outside. Looks like he comes down the track. Slides across the nose of Derek Chaput. And just comes down into Cheeseburger. Getting him loose. Into the outside wall he goes. Michael White also makes contact with the wall. Brian Merle Jr. luckily able to get through. Joe Wright, Josh Hall, able to get through as well. We have a few drivers on pit road right now. So let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like it was a gas and go for Brett Merle, Michael Provolt, Derek Chaput, Craig Schroeder, Brian Merle Jr., Sylvan Seguin, and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. So I don't know if they, for those who came in this time by, the question is, will they be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel? maybe only having to come in for tires? That is the question. So already, with only 15 laps completed, strategy is coming into play. Lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green here. Clint Stone, who has been the leader so far throughout tonight's event, he will be restarting in first. On the bottom, second, we have Colin Willems. Third, Devin Butchno. Fourth place, it is Eddie Morris. Rounding out your top 5, that is Blake Kinsley in the 88. First driver who came in and took fuel is Michael Provolt and Brett Myrtle. They are the 2 drivers with fuel. So we're going to see if they're going to be able to make it all the way on fuel now. Waiting for the pace car to make that hard left turn onto pit road. There we go. Pace car is in. Green flag back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Clint Stone taking off side by side for second. Devin Butchno taking advantage of the fact that he started right behind the control car. He gets a great run on the bottom, and he is clear of, oh, nope, not quite. Colin Willems coming back on the outside. The 2 are side by side on the backstretch. Willems with the nose on the outside. Great run for that 17. We see Willems, Butchno side by side here through 3 and 4. Blake Kinsley giving them some pressure. He is right behind Colin Willems, maybe giving him a little bit of a draft, and he is able to get clear. Colin Willems now to the second place spot. The battle is on now for third side by side. Blake Kinsley, Devin Butchno, and he is able to get clear. Blake Kinsley now to the third place position. And he is reeling in Colin Willems for this second place spot. Here he comes. We see Hensley looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass, looking to see what Willems is doing and waiting for him to maybe make a mistake, like push up off of a corner or get loose off of a corner. That's kind of what Hensley is looking for right now. He's just trying to figure out Willems' tendencies. He looks high, all over the back bumper of the 17. He is going to look to the high side as we head here through turns 3 and 4. Willems still clear. He's going to look low on the front stretch, trying to take advantage of the good run that you have on these straightaways. Hensley with the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. Side by side still between these 2. Little bit of contact made. Great run off of turn number 2 for Colin Willems. He is able to get back clear, but Hensley sticking right with that 17 machine. Butchno there as well, trying to look low under Blake Hensley for third. And they're still keeping up with Colin Willems for the second place spot. Side by side for third, Hensley, Butchno. We see Blake Kinsley with the nose as we head here through turns 1 and 2, trying to hold on to that position, and he is clear. Blake Kinsley stays in third place spot at the moment, trying to reel in Colin Willems for second. We see Brian Nudie able to get by Devin Butchno for the fourth place spot, and he's going to try to get by teammate Blake Kinsley for the third. Devin Butchno sticking right with Brian Nudie. Second through fifth, you could throw a blanket over these drivers. Very, very tight battle. There we see Blake Kinsley under pressure from Brian Nudie. Nudie looks low as we head off of turn number 4. Side by side, we see Hensley with the nose still. And there we go. Great run from Brian Nudie on the front stretch. He has the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. Teammates battling here at Chicagoland, and he is able to get clear. Brian Nudie now to the third place spot, but Hensley all over the back bumper of the 28, maybe trying to do a crossover move as we head here into 3 and 4. Loses a little bit of ground on that high side, and the door is open for the 68 of Devin Bucciano to try to make a pass here for the 4th place spot. Hensley still trying to maybe potentially reel in Nudie for the 3rd place spot, but no, he loses him under a ton of pressure from Devin Bucciano right now for this 4th place spot. Bucciano just trying his best to set up a pass. There's one driver that knows these 1.5 miles. It is certainly Devin Bucciano. He tries to peak low heading through turns 3 and 4. The door is open for that 68. He just needs to have a good run. Blake Kinsley doing a really good job defending his position. He looks low heading into 1 and 2. Hensley trying to get, Bucciano trying to get to that rear quarter panel. All over the back bumper of Hensley as we head into turns 3 and 4. Looks low side by side. We see Blake Kinsley with the nose heading through turns 3 and 4. They remain side by side here on the front stretch. Hensley getting back clear. Devin Bucciano continues to try to set up the pass. The door is open on the bottom for that 68. Same thing with the high side. Both grooves are open for Bucciano. He looks low as we head into turns 3 and 4 to the rear quarter panel, to the door. Bucciano with the nose as we head off of turns 3 and 4, and he is clear. Devin Bucciano to the 4th place spot now. Blake Kinsley falls to 5th. Blake Kinsley, though, trying his best to stay with Devin Bucciano to maybe have a chance at getting that position back. Hensley continues to lose that 5, and he is actually under pressure right now from the Wasted Wages racing driver of Logan Hagerman. Looks low here on the front stretch. Side by side between these two. We see, almost contact made there in turns 1 and 2. Hensley back clear of Hagerman, but Hagerman still putting on that pressure. And look at this. Great run for Brian Nudie as we head into 3 and 4. This is the battle for the 2nd place spot. Here comes Nudie all over the back bumper of his former teammate. Looks low here on the front stretch. He is to the rear quarter panel. He is to the door. Willems still with the nose as we head off of turn number 2. Nudie, though, right there putting a ton of pressure on that 17 machine. But he stays. There we go. Looking low as we head through 3 and 4. Nudie with the nose. Great run through the corner. And he gets clear. Brian Nudie now to the 2nd place spot. Willems, though, all over the back bumper of Nudie, not letting him get away. Maybe trying to make a crossover move. And he loses him a little bit as we head here through turns 1 and 2. Willems trying his best to stick with Brian Nudie for this 2nd place spot. These drivers have already seen over a second of tire fall off. The driver's still hitting speeds of around 190 miles per hour. Will Witt trying to reel in teammate Logan Hagerman for this 5th place spot. We see Hagerman able to get by Blake Kinsley for 5th. Nick Olofsson on Facebook says, "Let's go, Will and Wasted Wages." Here's a look at where the Wasted Wages crew is at right now. Colin Willems currently runs in the 3rd place position, just got passed by Brian Nudie. Logan Hagerman currently runs in the 5th place spot. He has his teammate Cody Moore reeling him in. He is in 6th. Then we have Will Witt in 8th. And then the only wasted wages driver not in the top 10 is Derek Chapu, who currently runs in the 13th place position. Chapu was involved in a earlier wreck at around lap number 11, so he had some ground to make up after getting some damage. Now here's a little bit of information on Chicagoland. Built at a cost of $130 million, Chicagoland Speedway is a world-class motorsports complex in Joliet, Illinois, featuring a mile and a half super speedway together with a state-of-the-art drag strip at the adjacent Route 66 Raceway. Although it's tempting to lump the mile-and-a-half oval with the bevy of so-called intermediate ovals that rose across the country in the 1990s and early years of the 21st century, Chicagoland's layout is unique. It's an oval that never truly straightens out thanks to a couple of kinks on the front stretch and a back stretch that is one long continuous curve. As a result, Chicagoland poses unique challenges not just to those who drive it, but the engineers and mechanics who must fine-tune their cars to the track's singular character. Since the opening for business in 2001, Chicagoland established a rich lore, including two of the closest finishes in IndyCar history, with Sam Hornish Jr. beating Al Unser Jr. And as I am talking about this, we see a caution flag is out. So we're going to take a look at what exactly happened here with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. By the way, I believe drivers may come in to take tires here. So here's a look at what happened. I apologize because this is the wrong incident. Here's a look at what happened. Here's Jake McCarty looking low under Joe Wright. We see Wright tags the wall and just comes down into the 10 machine. Both of them into the outside wall. Hard hit for the McKinleyville Barbershop machine. The whole back bumper torn off. Definitely unfortunate there. Looks like Devin Buchino, Logan Hagerman, Eddie Morris, Zachary Cox all take tires. So on this next restart, watch out for the 68 and the 36. Those two are the highest drivers right now with fresh tires. So right now, Clint Stone is your leader, as he has been for this entire race so far. Lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. I believe Joe Wright and Jake McCarty maybe also took tires. Right now, though, I know that the two highest drivers with tires is Buchino and Hagerman. So here we go, getting ready to go back green here. Clint Stone restarting on the bottom. Nudie restarting on the top. We got teammates restarting side by side. Willems on the bottom and Cody Moore on the top, with Will Witt in fifth, starting directly behind his teammate. So can somebody be able to get by Clint Stone for this first place spot? Will the 99 continue his dominance? Clint Stone won last night at Gateway in the Mace Construction Truck Series. So we're looking to try to repeat that success here tonight. Green flag back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Clint Stone taking off. Colin Williams taking advantage of starting directly behind the control car. He gets a great run and is ahead of Brian Nudi now for the second place spot. Colin Williams now trying to reel in Clint Stone for this first place spot. Here comes the 17. Great run off of turn number 2 and on to the backstretch. Williams, here he comes as we head into turns 3 and 4. Loses Clint Stone a little bit, but comes back through center and off of turn number 4. Clint Stone leads that lap, but Colin Williams continues to put on the pressure for that 99 pressure that Clint hasn't really seen throughout this race. And third caution of the race is out. Looks like the phrase, cautions breed cautions, is beginning to come true here at Chicagoland. Looks like it was a humongous wreck that we saw. So here's a look at what happened. We were 3 wide on the front stretch between Todd Mays, Will Witt, and Blake Hensley. We see Witt comes down into Mays and kind of creates the domino effect. Both of them go around. We see Todd Mays flies up the track. Right in, he gets into Jeffrey Belk. Chaput gets involved. Dave Wright gets involved. Hagerman, who was on fresh tires, he has nowhere to go. He gets involved. Look at this. A lot of our leaders are coming into the pits. Clint Stone, Cody Moore, Devin Bucchino. Here we are watching your leader and pole sitter, Clint Stone, as he comes in. Let's see what all is done to the 99. Successfully pulling into a stall. We see it as 4 Goodyear tires and fuel for the 99 machine. It is gas and go for Devin Bucchino. We see tires are taken for Cody Moore. Todd Mays into the pits. Going to need to get some damage fixed after that last incident. Tires are also taken. We see fresh tires are going on to that 35 machine. Hagerman coming into the pits after being involved in that last incident. So with Clint Stone coming in, that will give the lead now to the 17 of Colin Williams. Continuing talking about Chicagoland. Chicagoland is home to 2 of the closest, and as I say that, look at this. Colin Williams is into the pits. We see Sylvain Seguin, Derek Chaput also in as well, Michael White. So look at this. Let's see what happens here for Colin Williams. Looks like it is going to be 4 tires for that number 17 machine. 4 tires are going on Michael White's 09. We see Chaput getting 4 tires on the 37 without a nose. Seguin takes 4 tires. Still highest driver currently with fresh tires is none other than Eddie Morris. Currently runs in 9th. Took tires. Currently has 5 laps on him. Brian Nudi, Blake Hensley, and Kyle Mays still need to come in and make a green flag pit stop. Or a pit stop. Lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. Brian Newty restarting on the bottom. Blake Hensley restarting on the top. Got Kyle Mays in third. It looks like fourth is trying to be decided. I believe, yep, fourth place will be Brian Merle Jr. So we got teammates restarting beside each other on the front row. Watch out for Eddie Morris in ninth on this next restart. He is the first driver on fresh tires, and he will have a huge advantage over his competitors in front of him with older tires. So here we go. Pace car makes that hard left turn onto pit road. Green flag back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Brian Newty taking off. Blake Hensley trying to keep up with his teammate of Brian Newty, trying to reel him in as we head into turns 1 and 2. He loses him. Great run, though, through center of the corner for Blake Hensley. Great run off the corner for that 88. The mailman is coming. Here comes Blake Hensley, trying to reel in Brian Newty for the first place spot. These two are teammates. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Great run for that 88 machine, trying to take advantage of the massive runs that you get on these straightaways. You see Newty, Hensley continue to battle. And look at this, a caution flag is out. Fourth caution of the race, and the phrase cautions breed cautions continues to be true. And oh no, that is the risk that you take by losing track position to take tires. It seems as though Clint Stone was involved in the most recent incident that we saw. So here's Clint Stone trying to look low under Colin Willems. Oh, and look at that. That is a perfect example of what the iRacing community likes to call netcode, as you can see right here. No contact is made between the 99 and the 35. Fortunately, iRacing registers it as a hit, sending both Clint Stone and Will Witt into the outside wall. Unfortunate there for both of them. Look at this. Majority of the field into the pits right now. Brian Newty has the advantage with the highest pit stall. And we see 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel going onto that 28 machine. Gas and go for Devin Bucciano. Gas and go for Eddie Morris. Gas and go for Brett Merle, Logan Hagerman. We see Brian Newty, Blake Hensley, and Kyle Mays take tires. Brian Merle Jr. takes tires. Jeffrey Belk takes tires. Schroeder, Dave Wright, and Michael Provolt take tires. Now, Cody Moore, he is the first driver on new tires now. I believe pretty much everybody has come in, I believe. So Cody Moore now is your leader. He has fresh tires on that 52 machine. Hasn't really used them. Only 6 laps on them, and majority of those laps, I'm sure, have been caution laps. Logan Hagerman, Kyle Mays, Clint Stone, Dave Wright, Joe Wright are all into the pits. I'm interested to see what Hagerman is doing here, if it's a gas and go or tires are going to be taken for that 36. Looks like it is a gas and go for Logan Hagerman. Now, Chicagoland is actually home to two of the closest finishes in IndyCar history, with Sam Hornish Jr. beating Al Unser Jr. by .0024 of a second in 2002, and Elio Castroneves pipping Scott Dixon by 0.33 in the 2008 season finale. Chicagoland has proven equally competitive for race cars sporting fenders. Witness the fact that many a winner of the annual NASCAR Sprint Cup race started outside of the top 10, with Kevin Harvick 32nd and Dale Earnhardt Jr. 25th, just two to make the turn into victory lane after starting deep in the pack. Now, although in real life Chicagoland Speedway doesn't currently host any events, I believe racing may be returning to the Speedway in the near future. Lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. Cody Moore restarting on the bottom. We see Zachary Cox restarting on the top. Cody and Zach both came in to take tires, although Cody has a little bit younger tires compared to Zachary Cox. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Cody Moore taking off. He has teammate Colin Willems right behind him, taking advantage of starting right behind the control car. Here comes that 17 as we head through turns 1 and 2. He looks to be losing the 52. Colin Willems trying his best to keep up. And looks like he loses him as we head into 3 and 4. The battle is on for the third place spot between Todd Mays and Sylvain Seguin. Seguin, great run on the front stretch for that 66 machine. Trying to get up there to the 9 as we head into turns 1 and 2. Todd Mays beginning to reel in Colin Willems now for this second place spot. Colin Willems just trying his best to have a decent distance between him and Todd Mays, but no, big run for Todd Mays as we head into turns 3 and 4, trying to reel in Colin Willems here. And he's got pressure from Sylvain Seguin behind him, so Todd Mays, if he has a slip up, Sylvain will be there to pounce on the opportunity. Like Todd Mays is reeling in Colin Willems for the second place spot. Just trying his best to get a good run. Todd Mays, of course, playing offense and defense right now. Has a ton of pressure from Sylvain Seguin behind him. Todd Mays can't really gain on anything on Colin Willems right now. He's going to need to find some sort of speed. Oh, big run though. Turns 1 and 2 for the 9 machine. Here he comes. That is the exact run that Todd Mays was looking for. Continuing to try to reel in Colin Willems for the second place spot. John Rowe on Facebook says maybe to win. I'm not sure if you meant Mays. I know autocorrect can be a pain sometimes. Another good run here through turns 3 and 4 for Todd Mays, but he's got a ton of pressure from behind by Brett Merle in the number 11 machine. Brett Merle actually just ran his personal best lap time of the race. Uh-oh, Todd Mays is in trouble. Brett Merle looks low under that 17 or under the 9 as we head here on the backstretch. We see Brett Merle side by side here in turns 3 and 4. He is able to get clear, and now he is looking low under Colin Willems for the second place spot. Brett Merle right there as we head onto the front stretch. He is all over the back bumper of that 17 machine, trying to take a shot maybe as we head into turns 1 and 2. He looks to the high side maybe. Loses some ground though off of turn number 2. So Colin Willems begins to get away from Brett Merle for that third place spot. Big run though into turns 3 and 4 for that number 11 machine. Here comes Brett Merle. Great run on the front stretch as he sucks up to Colin Willems for this second place spot. We see Merle looking to the high side. To the rear quarter panel of the 17. Almost got slammed into the outside wall there. Looking low as we head into 3 and 4 side by side. Brett with the lead. And there we go. He is able to get clear. Brett Merle now to the second place spot. We see Colin Willems falls to third. Actually, we see Willems trying to make a crossover move as we are side by side for the second place spot. Brett Merle, though, back clear and begins to extend that gap between him and third place Colin Willems. Todd Mays now looking low, and as I say that, caution flag is out here at Chicagoland. Let's take a look at the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened here in this most recent incident that we see here on lap number 58. Here is a look at what happened. So we see Devin Buchino coming up on Jeffrey Belk. Looks like we see Josh Hall checks up on the outside. So then we see Belk checks up. And Buchino does not check up quick enough as he gets into the back of the 54. We see both drivers getting into the outside wall. Dave Wright barely able to make it through. So definitely unfortunate for Devin Buchino. Got a lot of drivers on pit road right now. Main driver I want to highlight is Colin Willems. Looks like it is a gas and go for Eddie, Jeffrey Belk, Craig Schroeder, Kyle Mays, Hagerman, Provolt, Devin Buchino. All of these drivers taking fuel here to try to last them as long as they possibly can here. So now Cody Moore. He remains your leader here at Chicagoland. So far in tonight's event, it's pretty much been either him or either him or Clint Stone. Clint Stone has had some bad luck here tonight. Looks like he's back up to 8th though. So John Rose says, yep, Mays to win. Here's a look at where all of the Mays Mafia is currently at. Todd Mays currently runs in the 3rd place position. We see Clint Stone currently in 8th. And Kyle Mays currently runs in the 14th position. And I believe that is all of the Mays Mafia that is in the race tonight. Mark Shavers is not running tonight. Looks like Bobby Mays is missing tonight. Bobby Mays has ran in every single race so far. So very surprising that we're seeing him miss tonight. He might be using tonight as his bye week. Or no, his drop race. Who knows, though? On this next restart, we are going to do a pump up the intensity restart. Where on this restart, you'll get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack and experience what you see and what you hear up close and personal on these restarts here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. So here we go. Lights on the pace car off. We're getting ready to go back green here. Cody Moore, who has led majority of the laps here in this second portion of the race. Second, right outside of him, is Brett Merle. In third, you have Todd Mays. And then rounding out your top four, it is none other than the 66 of Sylvan Seguin. So here we go. It's time to begin the pump up the intensity restart. Here we go. It's like, wow, we were doing the pump up the intensity restart. We saw a caution flag come out, so we're going to take a look at the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened. Here we go. Here's a look at what happened. We were 3 wide between Michael Provolt, Craig Schroeder, and Colin Willems. See Provolt on the very, very outside. Ooh. So we see Eddie Morris kind of slows up as we head into 3 and 4. And I think Schroeder goes high to maybe avoid running into the back of the 8, but he pushes up the track into the 95, spinning Provolt around. Nobody else is really involved here. Still unfortunate for Provolt. Cody Moore, he remains the leader here at Chicagoland. Now, I do want to quickly take this time to thank the series sponsor, Devs Sports Cards. Now, Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Buccino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs. From football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon, Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So, go show a big supporter of this series some love by picking up some sports cards or Pokemon cards from Dev Sports Cards on eBay. So here we are at Chicagoland, a little over the halfway point. Been a caution-filled race so far. Many drivers having very, very rough races. Lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. Cody Moore is going... Oh, almost some contact. There's looks to be some confusion. So Cody Moore will be restarting on the bottom. Todd Mays restarts on the top. Then we have Brett Merle starting behind Cody. And then we have Michael White running in fourth. Blake Kinsley currently sits in the fifth place spot. Currently, the driver with the freshest tires is Brett Merle and Blake Kinsley, who came in at lap number 20. Excuse me, they came in lap number 45. So here we are, getting ready to go back green here. Pace car is in. Green flag back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Cody Moore taking off. And he is already getting away from Todd Mays. Side by side for second between Todd Mays and Brett Merle. Side by side, we see Brett with the nose as we head here through turns 1 and 2. We see almost clear, but Todd Mays fighting back on that outside lane. The outside is very, very strong here, and you can make it work here at Chicagoland. But Brett Merle with the nose as we head here through turns 3 and 4. Almost clear for that 11 machine, but once again, Todd Mays trying to make a comeback on that outside. Another great run. Mays with the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. Back and forth between these two. We see Blake Kinsley there as well, and after a great run on the outside, it looks to be Todd Mays is clear of Brett Merle, and now Blake Kinsley looking to try to get by Brett Merle on that outside. The two are side by side, back and forth as we head off of turn number 4. Hensley with the nose on the outside. He is almost clear, and there we go. Blake Kinsley is clear into the third place spot. He now sets his sight on your second place driver, Todd Mays. Don't look now. Here comes Blake's teammate, Brian Nudie, looking to the outside of Blake here on the back stretch, side by side. There we see Blake Kinsley with the nose. He is almost clear. There we go. He is... No, Brian Nudie continues to fight on that outside, but Blake Kinsley. No, not quite. Brian Newty continues to fight. What a battle here for this third place spot between two teammates who have been running against each other all race long. And there we go. Blake Kinsley is able to get clear of Brian Newty. He sets his sights on your second place driver, Todd Mays. Can Blake Kinsley get a good run here? He continues to have some pressure from Brian Newty for this third place spot. Let's see if Newty tries to get through the door as we head into turns 3 and 4. Great run for Brian Newty. But still a little bit before he can get up to Blake Kinsley. About a car length separates them here on the backstretch. Brian Newty actually has Clint Stone, a former leader in tonight's event, all over his back bumper. Watch out for that 99. Blake Kinsley actually is starting to get away from Brian Newty now. Spoke too soon. Great run for Brian Newty as we head into turns 1 and 2. Brian Newty knows that it's go time if he wants to get by Blake Kinsley. He needs to because he has Clint Stone right on his back bumper. Looks low as we head into 3 and 4 side by side. Brian Newty with the nose, and he is able to get clear. Brian Newty now to the third place spot, back to where he started tonight's event. But Blake Kinsley sticking right with him, maybe trying to make a crossover move here as we head into turns 1 and 2. Kinsley right there on the back bumper. Looks low heading off of turn number 2. He has some pressure from Clint Stone. We see Blake Kinsley looking to the outside. We see 2 unscheduled pit stops for Chaput and Zachary Cox. Oh, almost. We almost saw contact there between Blake Kinsley and Clint Stone. So Blake Kinsley trying his best to maybe reel in Brian Newty for this third place spot, but I don't know. Brian Newty always has been very good at the 1.5 miles in season 1. He ended up winning the 200-lap race at Charlotte in the Xfinity Series. So Brian Newty certainly knows how to get it done. CCM in general has been fast all race long. We've seen some tough luck for Eddie Morris and Joe Wright. Stephen Black is still yet to... Stephen Black has 1 race under his belt this season, and that was at Daytona. He missed both of the twins at the Glen. Looks like he is going to miss tonight as well. Brian Newty beginning to reel in Todd Mays now for this second place spot. Can he get a good run here? Last time by, Newty was about a 10th faster. Big run as we head into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Brian Newty. About a car length separates him and Todd Mays here on the backstretch. Loses him a little bit on entry of turn number 3. Trying to have a good run here on the front straightaway. Here he comes, trying to make it happen. He looks low. Brian Newty all over the back bumper of the 9. He looks high. trying to peak low. Todd Mays doing a great job defending his position. We see Blake Kinsley there as well if either of these two makes a mistake. Still about a car length separates Todd Mays and Brian Newty as we head here through turns 1 and 2. Brian Newty looks high here on the backstretch. And look at this. Todd Mays is actually beginning to reel in Cody Moore now for this first place spot. So here comes Todd Mays with a ton of pressure from Brian Newty, trying to do his best to reel in Cody Moore and take that lead before it's too late. Big run for Todd Mays on the backstretch, but he has Brian Newty looking low under him as we head into turns 3 and 4. Side by side between Todd Mays and Brian Newty. Todd with the nose on the outside. He looks to the high side of Cody Moore here on the front stretch. He is to the rear quarter panel of the 52, to the door. He has the nose here, back and forth between Cody Moore and Todd Mays here as we head through 1 and 2. Mays with the nose. Mays is clear. Todd Mays now to the first place position. Cody Moore about to lose second place to Brian Newty. Newty looks low, and he is able to get, almost there. There we go. Brian Newty is able to get clear, and he is now to that second place position. Brian Newty setting his sights on your first place driver. Todd Mays, about a car length separates these two. Throw a blanket over your top 3 right now. Good run for Brian Newty. The door is open on the bottom for that 28. All over the back bumper of Todd Mays here on the front stretch. Maybe trying to make it happen here in 1 and 2. We see the 11 of Brett Merle is into the pits. Very, very, very rough day for that 11. Let's see what changes are going to be made here. Looks like it is going to be tires and fuel for Brett Merle. So after this pit stop, Brett will have the freshest tires out of the entire field. Brian Newty is now clear of Todd Mays for this first place position. Brian Newty, I believe, is to the lead for the first time tonight. Trying his best to get away from Todd Mays with this first place position. Brian Newty looking to try to win 2 in a row here tonight at Chicagoland, and he will be the first driver to have more than one win this season if he does get the win here tonight. Clint Stone trying to get by Cody Moore for this third place spot. About a car length separates Stone and Moore right now here on the backstretch. Stone peeking to the outside. Moore doing a great job protecting that bottom. But Stone all over the back bumper of the 52. He looks low here on the front stretch side by side. Stone with the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. He is clear of Moore. And now he is trying to set his sights on teammate Todd Mays. This will be the battle for second place. Here comes Clint Stone. And look at this. Green flag pit stops are underway. I believe these will be the final pit stops. Cody Moore, Colin Willems, Brian Merle Jr. all into the pits. It'll be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for these drivers. Brian Newty will remain the leader. Clint Stone coming up on Todd Mays for this second place spot. Teammates are beginning to battle. Stone looks low as we head into turns 1 and 2, and he is able to get clear. Michael White, Kyle Mays, Joe Wright, all into the pits to get some fresh tires and fuel to finish out the race. Clint Stone begins to extend that gap between him and Todd Mays. So now all eyes are on Brian Newty. When will we see that 28 come into the pits? Brian Newty last took tires on lap number 45. Let's see if he can, when he's going to come in here. I believe he will come in this time by Todd Mays is into the pits. So fresh tires are about to go on to that 9 machine. There we see Sylvain Seguin just exiting. And Brian Newty, he looks to be entering the pits. Blake Kinsley, a CCM teammate, coming in right behind him. Fresh tires for both of them. So this will give the lead now to the 99 of Clint Stone, who came in to take tires on lap number 39. He is way overdue for some tires. He comes in this time by. So this will give the lead now to Intensity DBC's Jeffrey Belk, who has a 5/10 lead over second place Devin Buccineau. The question is, when will Jeffrey Belk come in? He last came in, I believe, lap number 45. So he's got still 10 more laps before he reaches that stint. Michael Provolt, Dave Wright into the pits. Jeffrey Belk continues to stay out here at Chicagoland. I believe Belk is leading his first laps this season. Belk had 1 win in his rookie year at Darlington last season. Here comes Brian Newty, looking to get his lap back. He is past Devin Buccineau, and he looks low now and gets that lap back. Here comes Devin Buccineau, looking to try to take the lead here from Jeffrey Belk. Buccineau started this race in the second place spot. Here comes Clint Stone, also looking to get his lap back. He just ran the fastest lap time of the race, but he is getting held up by this battle for the lead. Side by side between Buccineau and Belk. We see Stone looks low under Buccineau, making it 3 wide. Thinks better of it. There you go. He makes it 3 wide, threading the needle between Buccineau and Belk. Here comes Blake Hensley looking to try to do the same thing. Butchno is clear for the lead. Another scorching fast lap time for Clint Stone. Colin Williams is in. They're almost there. And he is clear. 88 of Blake Hensley gets his lap back. And there we go. Second place driver Jeffrey Belk coming into the pits. Fresh tires are about to go on that 54 machine. So now Devin Butchno leads here at Chicagoland. He last came in lap 34. About to reach that stint. There we see Michael White, Todd Mays both getting their laps back. And there is Devin Butchno putting Jeffrey Belk a lap down. Jake McCarty into the pits now. Fresh Goodyear tires for that 10 machine. So the question is, how long is Butchno going to stay out? And, wow, this is exactly what Butchno was waiting for. The caution flag is out. Was not expecting that. So here's a look at what happened with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. So here's Dave Wright heading into turn number 1. Looks like he just flies down the track onto the apron. I don't know if he was trying to give Zachary Cox the position. And on that apron, we see he enters back onto the track. And just spins and resets. So now Devin Butchno into the pits. Getting 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Same thing with Hagerman. Same thing with Eddie, Schroeder, Cheeseburger. So now as the field cycles through, Cody Moore is to the lead now. His former teammate Brian Nudi right behind him. I want to take this time to quickly talk about IntensityBroadcasting.com. Intensity Broadcasting features merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite drivers, and all of your favorite leagues. On Intensity Broadcasting, you can find something for everybody. We have all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, like Intensity Broadcasting t-shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, mouse pads, and polo shirts. We also have at Lewis Racing merch, like at Lewis Racing t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, hats, polo shirts, packable jackets, and beanies. We also have auto racing novelty t-shirts like Big Bushy Bearings, Pucker Moment, PD Powered, Cautions Breed Cautions. If you don't like me and still watch everything I do, you're a fan. We have the Blink Hensley shirt, Race Car Money, Truck Cars, and Kick the Tires and Light the Fires. And then we have all of our league collections, including the SCSRA League Collection. There you will find SCSRA bubble-free stickers that you can put on your personal vehicle or your race car. We have SCSRA photo paper posters that you can hang up in your man cave or your sim room. And then we have SCSRA t-shirts that come in 5 different colors: black, navy, red, sport gray, and white, in sizes small to 5XL. And we also have an amazing opportunity with the driver collections. So listen up, if you are a real-life racer and you are looking to get merchandise made for your family, friends, and race fans, then contact us and we can get some awesome merchandise made, and it will be right on our store. So all you will have to do is send your link to your family, friends, race fans, crew, and they can order all of your merchandise, whether it's shirts or hats or hoodies, and it'll be a shareable link, and anybody can come to the store and buy it, and we will design everything for you. Just let us know what you want, message us, and we can get everything whipped up for you. So again, if you're a real life racer, you want some awesome merchandise made, hit us up at Intensity Broadcasting, and we will make stuff for you, and it'll be directly on our website. Again, there's all that and more on IntensityBroadcasting.com. Lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go back green here. We're going to have a 15-lap shootout to decide the winner here at Chicagoland. Brian Nudie restarting on the bottom. Cody Moore restarting on the top. Behind them, it is Clint Stone and Blake Hensley. Michael White is in 5th. All drivers with decently fresh tires. They'll be able to run the rest of the race. Green flag is back out here at Chicagoland. There we see Cody Moore taking off. Cody Moore elected to restart on the outside. He's got teammate, though, former teammate Brian Nudie right behind him. Nudie all over the back bumper of that 52 machine. He looks high, he looks low, trying to set up that pass. Nudie all over the back bumper, maybe trying to look low here as we head into 3 and 4. Great run for the 28. He is to the rear quarter panel of the 52. Loses him a little bit, falling back in line behind the 52. Here comes Clint Stone looking to the outside of Brian Nudie for this second place spot. Side by side, and looks like they're going to maybe make it 3 wide with Cody Moore. Cody Moore still with the nose on the outside, but Brian Nudie continues to look low. And there is teammate Blake Hensley making it 3 wide. We are 3 wide as we head through turns 3 and 4. Hensley with the nose. Oh, contact almost made between Nudie and Cody Moore. We were 3 wide as we crossed the start-finish line. The middle car, Brian Nudie, has the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. Brian Nudie almost clear of Blake Hensley, and there we go. He is clear. Brian Nudie now to the first place spot. We are side by side for second. 3 wide. Contact made between Blake Hensley and Cody Moore. Here comes Devin Bucciano looking to get by Blake Hensley for the second place spot. He is able to. Devin Bucciano now to second. Blake Hensley falls to third. Now Devin Bucciano setting his sights on your leader, Brian Nudie. Devin Bucciano is known as the 1.5 mile king. He is always successful at these types of tracks, and he looks low under Brian Nudie as we head to 3 and 4 side by side for the lead, and he is able to get clear. Devin Bucciano now to the first place spot. Brian Nudie falls for second. Brian Nudie now within a car length of Devin Bucciano, trying to take the lead back from that 68 machine. He loses him as we head here through turns 1 and 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2 Brian Newty trying to stick with that 68 and maybe try to take the lead back. He looks low as we head into turns 3 and 4. The door's open for that 28. As Buchino crosses the line, 10 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Heading into 1 and 2. Brian Newty continues to lose Devin Buchino. Buchino continues to extend the gap. Clint Stone now trying to reel in Brian Newty for this second place spot. Can Clint Stone get up to that 28? 9 laps to go for the 99 and 28. We see Stone looking high as we head into turns 1 and 2. Good run for the 99. Sucks right up to the back bumper of the 28. Looks low as we head into 3 and 4 side by side for this second place spot. He is clear. Clint Stone to the second place spot. Brian Newty is in third now. But Newty sticking right with the 99. Maybe looking to try to make the crossover move in turns 1 and 2. There we go. Newty looks low to the rear quarter panel of the 99. But he loses him and Clint Stone is back clear. Newty continues to lose spots. He now has Eddie Morris looking to the high side above Newty. Morris with the nose. And he is clear. Eddie Morris is now to the third place spot. He will set his sights on your first place driver, or on your second place driver, Clint Stone. Here with 7 laps to go. Can Eddie Morris reel in that 99? Clint Stone led many laps here in tonight's event. Don't know if he will be able to catch Devin Buchino. We see Eddie Morris looking low, trying to get by Clint Stone here. Brian Newty coming back, looking to try to take that third place spot back from Eddie Morris. And there is Craig Schroeder as well. He gets into the back bumper of Eddie Morris as we head here through turns 3 and 4. Brian Newty running that bottom side by side for third. Craig Schroeder looks low, trying to make it 3 wide with 5 laps to go. Newty with the nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get back clear, back to that third place spot. Don't think we've seen the end of Eddie Morris. He is sticking right with Brian Newty, right on his back bumper. So we head into turns 3 and 4. Side by side, Craig Schroeder with the nose over Eddie Morris. Back and forth between these two as we head on to the front stretch. 4 laps to go now. Brian Newty starting to get away from this battle. Eddie Morris almost clear of Craig Schroeder. Schroeder to the rear quarter panel of Morris. Staying right about there. To the door. Eddie is clear. Another chance for Craig Schroeder to look low as we head through 3 and 4. 3 laps to go for these two to decide who will take this 4th place spot. Craig Schroeder is clear and the 4 is in position. Number 4 with 3 laps to go. Eddie Morris is losing the 4 machine as we head on to the backstretch. The battle is on for 8th between Todd Mays and Michael White. White with the nose as we head into turns 3 and 4. Side by side between these two. Almost even as we cross the start-finish line. White with a little bit of a nose as we head into turns 1 and 2. Cody Moore reeling in Blake Kinsley for this 6th place spot. Moore has led a lot of laps tonight here at Chicagoland. Trying to break into the top 5 here, or into the top 6. Here we go. Final lap for Devin Buchanel. Devin Buchanel is the mile-and-a-half king here in this series. Running up front for most of this race. Had some bad luck around mid-race, but after green flag pit stops, he was back up front. Here he is, coming off of turn number 4. After getting a win at the Glen last week, he gets win number 2 tonight here at Chicagoland. Devin Buchanel gets his second win of the season, and after tonight, he has the most wins out of any driver. Exciting time here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. The new craft fine jewelry machine of Devin Buchanel has just parked it into victory lane. Again, in Cyphers on Facebook says, good run, Dev. Good run indeed for the 68. And there we go. Devin Buchanel burning it down here at Chicagoland. The Plattsburgh, New York native. Happy, happy, happy right now. 9 career SCSRA wins will make it 10 after tonight. He was the Season 1 SCSRA Truck Series champion. One of the best in the best in this series. And he showed why by winning at definitely a driver's track here at Chicagoland. So we are going to start off with the driver interviews. We are going to pull in your SCSRA Truck Series champion last season from Santa Rosa, California. It is Brian Nudie. Brian, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, great run for you tonight. I know you started in the 3rd place position, stuck around the top 3 for a lot of tonight's event, stayed out of the mess that was happening, mid-race, and had a really, really good pitch strategy. You were up there in the end, but couldn't quite get up there to Devin. What was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, it was definitely up and down night. Got lucky. Kind of the caution felt kind of really weird time, and nobody wanted to take the risk of staying out and getting the stage win. So I got lucky. I got the stage win there, so I got a point going into the to the playoffs for that one. So thanks for that one. Good looking for that one. Then I got lucky. We got a caution about 5 laps after. Was able to pit. Worked my way back up through there. Man, I just I don't know. I think if that caution hadn't come out, I don't know. I feel like I think Cody would have won, and I think me and Clint would have had a hell of a finish for second. But basically, pretty much just different winner, and me and Clint second, third. So great job for Devin. He really likes that strategy. It works out for him quite a bit. I just it's too much of a risk, too much of a gamble for me to want to do that. But awesome job. He did a killer job, and yeah, congrats to him.
Now, Chicagoland, an extremely unique track. I know a lot of drivers were running that high side early on in the run. How long did you run on that high side?
I never ran the whole side, high side all night long. I knew I was just going to burn up your tires. I knew it wasn't going to be fast. I ran the bottom the whole night. And I was trail braking. I was probably the only one that was doing it. And every time I was pitting, my tires were at a lot higher than all my teammates. I was thinking I was saving a little bit too much tire, but yeah, all in all, it was a good run. I just wish we would have had longer green flag runs.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
As always, I got to thank my beautiful wife for letting me do this. I got to thank all my teammates over at CCM. Awesome job for everybody tonight. Everybody that showed up anyway. And awesome job, Devin. Did a great job. You up at the booth, awesome job. League sponsor, Devin, also. Dev Sports Cards, and also the sponsors for the truck series, also Maze Construction. Got to thank everybody all involved and all the league admins.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the podium tonight, Brian. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, thank you. Have a good one.
Yep, thank you. All right, we are now going to pull in your second place finisher, the man from Chattanooga, Semaze Mafia's Clint Stone. Clint, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. We got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight. Started on the pole. You were definitely the fastest out on track. We saw came in and took tires around halfway, and unfortunately you got involved in some mess and kind of was hanging around there, and eventually after the final green flag pit stops, you're able to work your way up and end up having a great top 3 run, getting by Brian Nudie for second, and couldn't quite get up there to Devin, but still fantastic run. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Well, I just is what it is. I took tires in. I think I had like 5 more laps I could have gone, but I couldn't have stayed out as long as Devin. And I mean, the caution just it failed. So I didn't want to run that long. I really thought it would go green if people didn't wreck getting into pit road. I didn't think they would just wreck driving, but I guess it happens.
What do you think you maybe could have done differently to change the result?
Maybe pitted later. I don't really know. I don't think there was anything. I really don't think there was anything I could have done because I stayed out on that caution like whatever it was, lap 60 or so, and that's when all those guys pit. Got fuel and everything, so yeah. No, I mean, second's all I could have got.
Now, before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, appreciate you broadcasting, and then all the Maze guys.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up tonight, Clint. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, do appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. And here we go. We are now going to pull in your winner, the man from Plattsburgh, New York, your SCSRA Truck Series Season 1 champion, and your winner tonight with 2 wins in a row, technically, Devin Bucciano. Devin, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. We got a copy.
I got you, man.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight. Technically, this is your second win in a row here tonight at Chicagoland after winning last week at the Glen. Definitely carried some momentum by last week. I know you started in second. We're running around the top 3 for a lot of tonight's event. And then we saw came in, took some tires, and had some bad luck with, a lot of the incidents midway through the race. And then eventually we saw you were able to stay out a lot longer than everybody else, and that caution fell directly in your favor. You were able to come in, and you're able to pretty much stay up front for the most part, had fresh tires, and you're able to keep it in the lead for that last little green flag run and hold off Clint and Brian. Just another fantastic race. I mean, what was your take on the race?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We car was really quick today. We just missed a pole. Clint had a really good lap, and like you said, yeah, we were top 4 the first run there, and then we got the caution. It felt weird right before the stage, and we decided to just pit before the stage because I figured people would get their stage points and then come in, but they stayed out. So that put us in traffic and put it in the wall into 1 behind. I forgot who was battling, but went from 4th to 12th, and then just shouldn't have been back there. It was just a mental error on my end, and then got caught up in the wreck with Jeff there, and just didn't have time to react. And at that point, our tires we were saved. We had a set left, but I figured we'd just save them, and we had a couple cautions after that. So I know me and Logan were on the same strategy, and I think Eddie was too. At the end of every pace off, we were just coming in, topping off, and kind of made our bet on that last run. We could go till 106, and we'd lost so much time already. The leader started pitting in lap 80 or so. So I'm like, we're gonna run it to 106 and see what happens, and then caution came out in 102, and took a fresh set, was able to get through the field, and thankfully hold on to this one. You got to be a little lucky and a little good in these sometimes. So.
Yeah, I mean, Devin, you were probably the king of mile and a halves here in this series. What do you think makes you so good at them?
I think it's just tire saving. Learned a lot, and at the end of season 1, tire saving, and I said it last year too. I feel like qualifying goes a long way in this league because I feel like we're so evenly matched as a group. We've been racing together for 6 total seasons now across Xfinity and trucks. I feel like qualifying goes a really long way, being able to save your stuff starting up front and So yeah, I'd say probably just starts in qualifying for sure. You imagine how that goes in real life too, man.
For sure, qualifying definitely key. When everybody's just so closely matched, like you said. So before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys for doing this. You guys do an unbelievable job. Have a ton of friends and family who watch, and they rave about how good you guys are. They think it's amazing. Got to thank New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design. We're 2 for 2 with this cool looking car. I got to thank Josh. Didn't last week. Josh Hall did my paint scheme, put the chrome on. So thank you, Josh. Want to shout out my mom. She had her 3rd round of chemo today. We're halfway there. She's doing great. She's getting through this. She appreciates everyone praying for her. So shout out to my mom. I love you. Dev Sports Cards, Level Up Subs, and just thank you, man. Really appreciate what you do. All of us do.
Definitely enjoy broadcasting week in and week out. Glad to hear that your mom is doing okay. And again, just congratulations on the win tonight, Devin, and have a great rest of your night, man.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Yep, you too. Well, there you go. That is going to do it for tonight's broadcast. One more time, congratulations to Devin on picking up the win. We got to thank, first of all, the sponsor, Dev Sports Cards, for all that they do for this league. Check out their eBay store and pick up some basketball, football, baseball, Pokemon cards, and whatnot. Got to thank all of the league admins, Brian Nudie, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Sylvan Seguin, Devin Butchino, Stephen Black, and David Hartney for all that they do for this league. They do so much behind the scenes that a lot of our viewers don't realize, a lot of very, very important stuff. So they keep this league going. So thank you to all the admins. Thank you to Marco's Pizza for sponsoring the Wreckage Rewind and Driver Spotlight of the Week. And, of course, thank you to Butt Kicker for all of their support of these broadcasts. I want to thank all of the viewers for tuning in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We are back on Twitch finally, so if you have been watching us on Facebook or YouTube, and because Twitch has been down, you may go back to Twitch now and watch the broadcast. We are back broadcasting on Twitch for the first time in a very, very long time. So, and of course, we want to thank everybody who follows us on Twitter. Make sure to check us out on Twitter. Always dropping polls, interacting with our viewers, talking about NASCAR and whatnot. It's a great place to talk and discuss with us. And of course, check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com, for all the best merchandise in the business. We got Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, At Luis Racing merchandise, auto racing novelty t-shirts, and, of course, our league collections, including the SCSRA collection. Pick up SCSRA stickers or SCSRA photo paper poster or SCSRA t-shirts. Also, if you're looking for great, we do have 2 sponsors for these broadcasts, so make sure to go check out the links for Elite Performance Industries and Butt Kicker. Both of them, the links to their websites are in the description. Go check them out. They got great stuff for their respective services. I'm Atlee Atman-Wees, and on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.